Meet the Others podcast. What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang thing?
Who the F?
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
We
no.
just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards. Gives me
Word up.
comfort. So
I hear you.
yeah. So anyways, Meet the Others. That's us.
Still waiting on this car to come and take me home. Things feel a little different now that we grown. Till I turn the ass, so they put my name in stone. Live how I wanna live, cause we die alone.
Hey.
Yo!
What's poppin'?
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the podcast.
What
Meet
is-
the Others. Meet the Others podcast. Here we are.
Yes, here we
Who
are.
is this?
Anissa B.
Choirboy Dank.
What's going on, guys? Welcome.
Let's get it. We popping bottles.
We're popping bottles of some voodoo. Thank you, sir. Kind gentleman. I use a straw when I drink beer. Fun fact. You'll see that quite a bit if you haven't seen it already. Right? Right or wrong?
Something like that. Fun fact.
Cheers.
Always with the straw.
Cheers. There we go.
Be
Cheers.
careful, be careful with those nails.
Ay, rico. So what's going on? What has been happening? Did you think it's really important that we talk about some merch that just dropped?
Hey, yeah, we just put up some new Otherworld merch.
Yes.
Meet the Others did a little photo shoot. It was good times.
Yep. If you follow us on our social media platforms, we are on Anissa B Strong and Choirboy Dank on Instagram.
Yep. And the
And-
Otherworld.
Yep.
The Otherworld ENTs are also on there.
Yes. Yes. So if you didn't catch it before, you need to go back and look at the store. It's in the link in the bio, whatever, however, link in the bio.
However you do it.
However you do it, you're going to do it when you click and then you're going to see.
Nah, it's good. We got a
Yes.
lot of cool stuff lined up. And that's the official shirt, the official shorts. And if you didn't see them, we dropped shorts, sweatpants, t-shirt, and long sleeves. So
Crop top for the ladies who are in
And the
love
crop
with the
top for
crop
the
tops.
ladies.
Because I am. And a beanie.
oh yes, and that
And the
that
beanie. Pretty cool. Yeah. And we have more stuff coming along, which will be amazing. And also what else?
well, we talked to the guy about getting
Our sign done.
these signs done, getting this sign done for the podcast, which will
You're
be
gonna see our face
it's gonna be pretty sweet.
for
Okay.
whoever's watching.
Yeah. For the people watching, you get the logo
Yes.
live and indirect. It'll be pretty cool. I'm
Yes, it
excited
will.
about that. That's in the works.
Yes.
We've been listening to some books on the old Audible.
Is
oh,
there
shit.
something going on, honey?
Seems like there is. It's a little harder to decipher. It's a little harder to decipher because I dropped my computer.
Oh, yeah, I could hear like Discord going on. Silence it. Silencio.
That's the Discord sounds, guys. If you're not familiar.
Yeah.
Silencio Discord. Okay, so here we go.
Are we back?
I think we're back.
Okay. Hey guys, we're back. Whew.
Discord NFTs. What?
What? You dropped your laptop recently?
Yeah. Yes, very recently, like yesterday.
Womp
I wanted to cry. So
Womp
we gotta get it.
womp.
We gotta get that fixed. This is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
Nice. Take it to the
Oh.
chin.
Yeah. I'm gonna put up a PayPal link.
Oh man. Go fund me.
No. That's gonna be fun. So yeah, the fun fact about that is I gotta drive a long way just to get to an Apple dealer, which is like what?
Yeah, we're getting tired of that thing. But that's a whole nother story.
But anyways, so when we was what you got something to say about the brewskis, or you got
Yes.
something to say about something else?
So here we go again. We are true fans of the Voodoo Rangers.
The Imperial IPA,
Yes.
specifically.
And you have to drink it with a straw. It just always tastes better.
You do not have to drink it with a straw.
You gotta drink it with a straw, guys. Drink it with a straw.
Now the Imperial is one of the faves. I don't know why. We had some weird bear brew the other day.
Bear hug, hazy.
Bear hug hazy IPA.
I don't know what it was called, but it was pretty good. Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious. Do you want to talk about what we did the past weekend? Because that was a lot of fun.
What? Staying in the old town?
Yes, we went downtown Wichita, and we kind of got away for a little while, just the two of us. And on our way over, we listened to an Audible book, right?
Yep. The Four Agreements by
I
somebody that you wrote down over there. So
well, okay. I know who it is. His name is Maguel, but I want to see here. Here's the thing I want to say. Don Miguel Ruiz.
Oh.
The Four Agreements. Now I just got to backtrack and rewind. Damn, we need a rewind sound, honey. Do you have one in there?
No rewind sound.
How about it here?
Sound. Sound. I don't know.
Damn.
Was that it?
I don't know if that was it. Anyways.
Go ahead.
We were listening to this Audible called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And actually, I was put on by a really good friend of mine, also my yoga instructor, Jimmy. She owns the Wellness Yoga Studio. Amazing place. If you haven't been there, you need to go if you're local.
Truly amazing.
Amazing. Sure. It helps your mind, helps your body, just helps you 100%. So she put me onto this book, and it's hard for me to sit down and read a book when you're, a stay-at-home mom and you got a lot of things going on. So we take the time when we drive, and we kind of dig deep into our Audible books. So we kind of listen to this one.
This was a good one. At first, I was like, this is too much. It was too out there for me on the first listen. And then once I got kind of like took a breath, opened up a little bit, and really just was kind of like almost just had it like around. It made more sense for me. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we kind of dig deep, kind of realize that like if we listen on to the book, because you have to like be open-minded, whatever, like if you're very religious or not religious at all, your mind has to be completely open for you to really dig deep into this book. But I have heard this book. I was going to say read, but that's a lie. I didn't read it. I heard it. I've heard this book probably about, I don't know now, 12 times. And every single time there's something different that I can like relate to, because I'm listening to it, but I'm not like steady listening to it because I'm a stay-at-home mom and I got my kiddos, asking me a question in one ear, and then the narrator in the other ear talking about what I need to get done in order to move forward in my life and be a lot happier.
Being impeccable.
So do you want to talk about some of it, like the summary of it, or do you want to like kind of discuss the four agreements that he talks about?
Well, I will say that on first listen, the whole like the dream and like the way that he kind of refers to like just the normal like consciousness of like everybody is a little like, man, this guy is like out there. But then once you really kind of like understand kind of what he's talking about, it's like he's
like
on
out there.
something.
How though?
Just the fact that like it's like my normal day-to-day like judgment and guilt and all of that is just a dream. It's like it's not really real. It's something that like you subscribe to because the world says so, or like that like kind of everybody is like, I don't know, just like kind of in tune with the same kind of like idea. And that idea is in a weird way, like, I don't know. Yeah, now I'm going to start getting deep into the book or whatever. But
yeah, we don't want to go too deep with you guys, but we want you guys to at least give it a try. Like if you have a credit or something, You can waste one credit on this book because it really actually will help you like clear your mind a little bit on like if you're like a overthinker like I am, and a lot of the world is.
Not me.
Not you. Lucky you.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're an overthinker and you sometimes like the mind messes with you from the world or whatever, it's a really good book that kind of gives you a little bit more of like to become more in tune with yourself. But I definitely wanted to talk about the 4 agreements. And I kind of wanted to talk about like, I know this is so off topic, but like I wanted to talk about how they like kind of affect you, how they kind of affect me a little bit.
Well, do you want to talk about what the 4 agreements are?
Yeah, we can. We can start with number 1.
Because I think that we got to kind of like give a little bit of, because no one's going to know what the hell's going on.
Right.
Including me. And I've listened to the book. So
we can't tell you exactly how the 4 agreements work, but we're going to tell you how we relate to the 4 agreements because we want you guys to look at the book.
Why can't we say how they work?
I mean, we can say how they work, but I don't want to spoil it where we talk too much and then no one wants to check out the book. Downloads the book because Miguel Ruiz might come for me.
Yeah, true. And there's a lot of value in that you gotta check out. You gotta get it. But I don't think that we'll be able. I don't think we got 10 more minutes. I don't think that we'll be able to tell them everything, right?
Right. True. Okay. So the first agreement of the book. Well, one thing that really gravitated towards me before that was when he was talking about being a warrior.
Oh, yeah.
And how the warrior, a real true warrior is a person who fights through the parasites in their mind. I'm all about the whole warrior vibes. And that makes so much sense to me because I feel like I am constantly battling what's going on in here.
Yeah, 100%.
So you almost got to be a true warrior to be able to continue to be like, there's a parasite, I'm trying to kill it.
Well, and in the book, he's kind of talking about going against the things that you kind of fear most and really like taking each one of those head on. And like, in that way, you're definitely a warrior. Like you're fighting all of these like negative thoughts or like like limiting beliefs or like guilt that's like making you act a certain way or like feel like you have to do everything that everybody else does because that's what everybody makes you feel like or other people. And a lot of the times we put that in our own brain.
Minds, yep.
So like,
because if you think about it, at the end of the day, we are our own person. We are who we are, right? It's just us. We're living with ourselves every day. Yes. Day in and day out. And we need to fight the battles that we're dealing with deep inside. And we can't be worried about what's going on in the outside world and who's making you feel this way and that way, because sometimes that's all in our like.
Sometimes half of it's concocted.
Right.
Out of your own insecurities, thoughts, experiences through your life as a child or as an adult or whatever. Right.
Yes.
And that is the parasite.
Mm-hmm. It's like what you developed because of who you were as a child, because of the people surrounding you. Kind of that one example. And this is just one example of the book with the girl. Right. But we haven't got there yet because that would be the first agreement if we're talking about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Okay. So the first agreement is be impeccable with your word.
Yes. And that relates to this story for sure.
Right. So go ahead with that story.
So this is just kind of like illustrating a little bit about like how your word really affects everything and the way that you interact with people. And it was just basically a story about a mom that's frustrated with life and a lot of things. She comes home and her daughter's super happy and she's screaming and just jumping around the house and, singing and yelling and doing all sorts of stuff. And her mom gets fed up with the noise and says, like, you have an ugly voice. And then the daughter never wants to talk ever again. And
never wants to sing.
Never wants to sing or what? Yeah, yes. Yeah, exactly.
Because she was singing. She was like joyfully singing like a little girl who she loved. Like she loved her daughter with all her heart. But
she just had a bad day.
She just had a bad day, and her daughter kept singing, and she said, "You have an ugly voice. Stop singing." Pretty much.
And then it affected her daughter, and her daughter allowed that to like make her not sing
Ever
and
again.
Yeah, and that's I don't know. I think that just shows how our words affect other people, and how not only do they affect other people, but our words for ourselves in our own mind really affect how everything.
Right. Which will then go to the second agreement. But before we go there, because that's where kind of every agreement kind of falls into itself, right? Would you say?
Well, they support each other, I would say. Well, they kind of like one feeds the other and vice versa.
Right. And so like I think for like number one to be like impeccable with your word, I feel like we have to remember, like, we have littles. Yeah. And our littles are super like out there, and they want to be creative, and they want to do so much. So we have to just make sure that we plant those seeds and water them.
Yeah, and support it, right? And
support it, because if we can easily mess up and say, "Oh, that was terrible, that beat you just did."
Yeah, but we're not doing that.
We don't do that. We don't do that in this house. Art is art.
Little man is nasty with them beats.
Yes, he really is. You guys, we gotta put him on one day. He would love it. He would like lose his mind.
Yeah,
he really would.
He'd be making music.
Yes,
he got songs and all that.
Yes, but yes, it's very true. It's like you just have to be careful with some of the words that you say, and mainly, what I'm learning about that book for the 12th time is like this is about being careful what you say to yourself.
Yeah, and that's the thing that is really
This is a self-love, self-healing, figuring out yourself type of book. Like if you're struggling with a lot of like self-doubt, you want to listen to this book, because for some reason, this book just kind of opened your eyes to be like, oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of groom yourself a little bit.
The one thing that really kind of like stood out to me at one point when I was listening to it is he said the biggest sin is like talking down about yourself or limiting yourself. That's the biggest sin that you could live out, because not only are you hurting yourself, but you're hurting not everybody around you, but like you're hurting yourself. Yep. And it's, I don't know. It was just it was wild to really like take that in.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's a good book. There's just teach you to be comfortable with love and showing love and all of that. So what do you got next?
So number 2 is don't take anything personally. And I think that we can all relate. I'm gonna say everybody here can relate, because I definitely need to continue to work on that, because that's a parasite that continues to come on. And sometimes I don't care. But sometimes I take things so personal because I'm so passionate about just like everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's easy. And that's a hard one that I definitely struggle with, is to not take things personal, because a lot of times I put myself in the mindset of like, oh, well, I wouldn't do that to you. So like, how could you do that to me? And there was a point in the book where the guy said, that's crazy to think that everybody's going to think like you.
Right.
To like go out into the world and think that everybody's going to think exactly like you is ridiculous. So like that was kind of like a weird like wake up call, that it's not just solely about yourself all the time and your own experience, right?
Yeah. And also like if he also did say, like, let's say if you got dressed up and your friend said, you look ugly today, that could easily be a situation that your friend's dealing with and they feel ugly. And so they're projecting out on you and making you feel ugly and second guess yourself.
Yeah.
Don't take that in.
Don't take that personally. I feel like there was even a point where if someone was like gonna like physically attack you, don't take that personal.
That was weird. He was if someone shot you in the head,
it's not personal.
It's not personal. I'm like, I don't know, man.
That's yeah, that was a kind of a.
Are you crazy? I'm gonna take that personal. So like, I'm still working on that. That's why every time I gotta hear the book about 100 times before I'm like, oh shoot, maybe I'm good. It's gonna be growth after growth after growth. But like, if you think about it, the same scenario with the mom and the daughter, that girl took it personal. because they lived on with her since she was an
Yeah.
adult.
Yep.
Look how crazy that is.
And why?
And why?
Because your mom had a bad day. Yeah. And you took it personal, and it like affected how you lived your life, which is like wild.
Right.
Should not happen.
Right.
That's the kind of cool thing about this, right?
Yes. And then number 3 was don't make assumptions. And I think that when people don't get answers, we easily make assumptions.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's natural.
Yes.
That's how the brain works. You try to figure out an answer. If you're not getting the answer, you're gonna make one up.
I'm like, hey, this person's not telling me what I asked a question. Nobody's answering me back. All right, I guess they're mad at me or they don't like me. And
I think that even when you get an answer, sometimes you assume that it means something else or whatever,
yes.
or assume that
yes,
it like the reason why this is because they're doing this, and a lot of times you could project your own things onto it or whatever.
Well, and also if you assume, I feel like also it goes hand in hand with like taking things personally. Like if someone like says something, I'm going back again, but like if someone says something like, oh, you know, you're beautiful, and then like you easily assume you're taking it personal, and then you easily assume this person is like, oh my God.
Oh, trying to like
that could be my man.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like kind of goes hand in hand again.
You see someone at the grocery store and you're like, oh, we could get married.
Look at those blue eyes. You know,
we could go grocery shopping together.
Let's do it. And then number 4 was always do your best. Always do your best.
Which I think was was cool because it was like you don't feel fulfilled if you don't do your best.
Right.
And I can relate to that a lot.
Same. But it's always going to be a work in progress. We are humans. We're going to make mistakes. This parasite that we're trying to fight is going to continue to live in us.
Yeah, but if you do your best,
maybe not.
Well, not only maybe not, but you gave it this shot.
Right.
You gave it your all. So like, if the parasite fucked with you a little bit or whatever, like, that's so weird.
True.
But you got to work on it. You got to try to work through it, right?
Yeah. One more thing that I love that he mentioned in the book was something that I really came to terms with. Like maybe a few years ago, but like it just confirmed it even more, was when he was saying that you can't blame your parents for your upbringing. I think a lot of times that a lot of us become victims and we like to say, oh, the way that my parents raised me is the way that I am. And honestly, like my life was not an easy childhood. I didn't have an easy childhood. So therefore, like I can't, like I've come to terms not to blame my parents for my childhood anymore, because they are only coming from the same situations that they dealt with when they were children, from what they dealt with from their parents. So what we have to do is break those chains and be different.
And not take it personal.
And all that stuff. So I really was like, I like that. For me, that was like a big deal, because I think a lot of times people fall victim as a victim, and it's easier to be a victim and be like, my mom and my dad did not do this for me, and therefore this is why I turned out the way I am. And it's like, no, make it about you. Do the work.
That's really what it is.
Who you are.
Don't be scared of the work.
And I was like,
that you have to do like emotionally, physically, mentally,
right,
whatever.
Yeah. So I thought, like, for me, that was like another one that I was like, ooh, I like it. What do you have any other like things that you can say that gravitated towards you in the Audible? I know that you didn't you didn't listen to it as many times as I have.
No, I haven't.
No,
mine was that thing that I said earlier about negative self-talk really being like the like ultimate sin. And I feel like, I don't know, for some degree, I think that I don't know, that stood out to me. because I don't necessarily feel like that is really like a big thought in a lot of different like kind of like I don't know, like beliefs and thoughts and like the way like it's like kind of like I don't know. I just felt it like empowering
Right.
in a way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you guys should definitely check it out. I mean, it was definitely one of those you got to really like have like at least like a few hour drive to really dig deep into it and listen to it and have an open mind for it, because some of it is a little magical, some of it is real religious, some of it just has like you would say it's more of like one of those things where you're like, where's this going?
Yeah, and he uses a lot of terms that would kind of like throw you off, but if you really dig into it, it gets exciting because it's like, and that goes along with that negative self-talk and other things. He's like, when people pass their negativity onto you, like say that person that said that you're ugly or whatever, they're putting this black magic on you, right?
Right.
And that black magic is really like affecting. It's the parasite. Like you're allowing that to suck your energy. And that, yeah, I don't know. At first, some of that is a little like, God, like this guy is like kind of like batshit. But
right.
If you really like take it in, it's like, oh no, there's something about that. And there's also something even about those words because it gives a certain gravity behind it.
Well, for me, I wasn't thinking batshit, nothing. I was like,
no, you're like,
I was like, voodoo woman.
No, I know.
I was like, white magic, black magic. Let's do it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just in the context of like what he's talking about. Well, and like the dream and like your everyday interactions are the dream,
right?
And black magic and white magic.
Yes.
And for me, I think that a little bit of that to take that into like everyday context is a little like out of the norm. Right, not
for
like
some people,
not like just bash
people. Well, so the thing is he dives into biblical like
he goes into all of that stuff
and then magical things. So I feel like he almost gravitates towards every one, because for me, I'm like white magic, black magic is
he
nothing.
Pulls from many different
elements of
religions. He talks about different, like, oh, this religion would say this religion would say that, or whatever. So it's a cool book for sure.
Yes, I definitely think you guys should listen to it. It's called The 4 Agreements. It's by Miguel Ruiz.
And it's only on Audible, right?
It's only on Audible, it says. I'm not too sure. Like I've seen
Maybe you can actually get the book as well.
Maybe you can. But when I looked at the actual like, the album cover or whatever, the book cover, it said only on Audible. So I'm assuming that's what it's on. Look at my nails, guys. Majesta did my nails. They're pretty awesome.
She got the evil eye.
I always have the evil eye.
The glow in the dark.
I'm not flipping you off. I'm just saying. I'm protecting myself. But yes, The 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. You guys got to read it. We heard there was a 5th after we were done reading, or listening to it. So we're gonna listen to the 5th, but we don't really want to spoil it. So we're trying to like dance around the whole entire book. But we want you guys to check it out and kind of like comment. Maybe give us a little bit of your like.
Give us your takeaways. Give us your things that you thought about when you listened to it or whatever.
Yeah. What would you say out of all 4 agreements? Which one hits you the most?
I think it was the be impeccable with your voice or whatever.
Your word?
With your word, yeah.
Really? Why?
Because that doesn't just include what you say to other people, but it also includes with what you say to yourself.
Is that something that's a parasite that keeps coming back? Do you feel like?
Yeah, for sure.
Word up. I hear that. I think assuming for me, like don't assume, is a problem for me. I'm such an overthinker, and sometimes I assume everything.
Yeah.
Because I need the answer like right away. And if I don't get the answer, I'm like, okay, this is what it is. This person's doing this because of this, and this is why, and this is what it is. And now I know. And then I take it personal. I don't feel like words for me really matter as much. Not always. I used to be like that, I think.
What do you mean?
Well, I just feel like I used to care a lot more about words and how people said things to me and then how I internalized it. And then like I don't feel that anymore. Like I've learned to let some of that shit go. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times those words come from the outside world. The inside of you, like those words that you may feel, like whenever I used to feel like someone would make me feel like crap or whatever, it would like really hurt the inner me. You know what I mean? Do you kind of know what I mean or no? And I would take it in.
Yeah, which is your interpretation or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe but that's kind of what I'm my take of it. You know what I mean? We all have our own. But do you think there's only just one, which is be impeccable with your word to yourself?
What do you mean? With just one what?
Like the 4 agreements, you only feel like one agreement really.
No,
sticks
you
out?
said which was the one that really stuck out to me.
Okay.
Now you're trying to pigeonhole me over here.
No. I love you. No.
No, I think that just to me that it just was really a weird thing to me because I think that there's just so much that you're taught to like deny yourself and
Word.
do as especially as a man, like
Yes.
kind of put your stuff on hold and figure stuff out for everybody else. And I think that to some degree, like to really say like, I don't know, like, yo, you gotta like big yourself up and like that's to me and like not only in the way of like, oh, you're the shit or whatever, but and like don't question yourself.
Word. I hear that.
Yeah, and interpreting what other people say to you and stuff like that is, I think, important as well.
Right.
But I don't know. I think that this Voodoo Ranger is getting to me. And we're at about 33 minutes. So
yeah, we kind of wanted to just come on here and give you guys a little bit of like what we were listening to.
Give a book review.
Give a book review, like we said we were gonna do. We were gonna do some book reviews. So this is our book review. Okay, it's Audible.
It's on Audible.
It's on Audible. Yeah,
the reading with the words on the paper.
I don't know. I can't do it right now. Maybe when the kids are older, I could sit down on the porch and read a book and hear the birds chirping. But today I have to put an AirPod in and just let it happen while I'm folding some clothes. So it is what it is. I made it happen. I've read a book. Sometimes I say I've seen the book, but we're not going to get into that. Especially we're like crime junkie. I swear I'll be seeing it. Like not good.
But that's not really a book though.
Oh, that's a podcast.
But not even that. It's more of like it's like a real story.
It is a real story. And then
so it's like you're thinking, I think that's different than a book in a little bit of a way.
That's true.
Because you're not seeing the 4 agreements in the same way, right?
Yeah, that's true. You know which book we need to do next, a review for? The roller coaster book. That book is good.
The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster?
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes. If you guys
or the Matthew McConaughey.
Wait. Oh, green light. Oh my God, stop it. I've read
the green
that.
Light.
I've read that book, quote unquote. I didn't read it. I heard it.
No, Matthew McConaughey does a really good job of narrating that book.
Matthew McConaughey, let me just say this much. That book like pushed me to be like the most biggest dreamer in the world. Because it's like he's just like a dreamer.
Yeah.
That's how he lives his life.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool insights in that book. He spent his whole life writing that book in a way.
It's amazing.
And it really kind of like, it's cool because I feel like he prepared his whole life to write that book too.
Yes.
Like he had like little notes and little things and it was good. And he's a good speaker. So like that, when you're listening to books, that really kind of translates very well.
It's an amazing book. If you haven't read that book, it's called Green Light. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. But we should do that
and
one.
yeah, we should do that. And I want to know, what you guys are reading.
Heck yeah. Give us some pointers.
We need some, if you got a cool book that you've heard on Audible or that you read or whatever that's on Audible, because we're probably not going to read it.
Yeah, it has to be on Audible. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to sit down and read a book right now. Not today. Maybe in give me 5 years and then I'll read a book. But right now, not going to happen. Unless I have to not gonna happen. Unless it's for a test or something, I'm not. I don't have the time.
Taking tests.
I'm not right now.
Going back to school.
Imagine me with the book
with
bag.
A little book bag, backpack. Yo, we're at 36 minutes. We gotta get out.
We gotta get out of here. We're gonna get out of here, guys. Hey. So guys,
it's time to get off the stage, guys.
If you guys have listened for this long, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, it's Meet the Others Podcast on YouTube. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Where else are we on? We are on Facebook as Meet the Other Podcast, Instagram, YouTubers. Everywhere. You're going to see our face and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Subscribe, guys.
Thank you for watching or listening.
Yep. Subscribe. Put them notifications on so you can see every time we upload some new stuff.
And make sure you comment. Give us those books. I'm down. I'm so down to hear what you guys are listening to, reading, whatever it is. Let me know. And if you guys decide to read the 4 agreements, I would love to know some of the ones that maybe you guys gravitated towards.
Let us know what we didn't talk about, because there's a lot of cool shit in there that we'd love to hear your opinion on. So
yes, well, thank you guys for watching Meet the Others Podcast.
It's been fun.
Why Meet the Others Podcast?
Peace out, guys.
What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang thing?
Who the F?
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
we
no.
just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards.
Word up. So, I hear you.
Yeah. So anyways, Meet the Others. That's us.